Hey guys, welcome back to Art Business, and today a little bit of excitement. Ooh. Hi everyone, my name is Layla. I have a 4-year degree in Art and Design where I studied at the University of Leeds, a Russell Group university. During that time, I studied modules in color theory, specifically how to make harmonious color palettes, as well as marketing and branding trends. Today I'm going to take you through the process of creating a brand identity while I make my own brand identity. This video is going to help you by taking you step by step with me as I create the branding for my clothes company as well as for my YouTube channel and kind of everything in between. So if you want to go along the journey with me, if you want to learn some tips and tricks, see exactly how I'm doing it and how I'm going to move forward, this video is for you. Let's get started. So I dug up my big textbook from when I was studying at university just to give you a few definitions of what branding is so you can get a better understanding and idea. Very quickly, branding is brand, used to differentiate between similar products by means of a set of visual cues that represents the brand's attributes and associations. And that's it. So essentially, the brand is about who are you, who you are, who am I? Branding is not only a strategic aim of a company, it's also one of the most creative bits of a company. Look at all the colors here. However, before we get into all the prettiness and designing the logos and the colors and everything like that, we really have to establish what type of business we are. Like for instance, I know that I'm going to be running a clothing company, but what are my values? What do I want to be consistent? What personality do I want to have? And what do I want to offer the customers that are going to be buying from me in terms of value, incentive, and trust, really? I'm going to sit down and write out all my brand values, what I want to achieve with my business and how I want others to perceive me, what values am I going to put out into the world and show, and what personality do I really want my brand to have. So at this time, you should be thinking about your voice, your interest, your personality, your values. What will customers trust about you? What will they recognize from you? And what do you want to represent and put into the world? While I was sitting down and writing out my values and my purpose for my business, I also wrote down some key phrases that I want my business to represent, such as, where fashion, art, and you collide. Something else that I discovered when I started writing was what I want my business to stand for. I want my business to be accessible and easy for all. I want people to be able to follow my process and be able to replicate it for themselves and build success for themselves if I'm successful anyway. So I wrote down for you, access for all, because I want people to be able to see my process, see what I've done, see where I've made mistakes, and be able to better themselves from it, hopefully. Okay, I sat down really hard. Okay. So in terms of coming out with my concept, my brand identity, and my values, this is what I have down. So I'm Loquat Layla and I make Loquat clothes. What is a Loquat? What is a Loquat? Well, basically, I'm from Bermuda and loquats grow there. They are small citrus-like fruits. Loquats are very important to me in terms of a symbol of identity and where I come from. So what I'm trying to explain is that the key word here is identity. What sticks out to you? What do you want your company to represent? It could be, if you're just branding yourself, it could just be your name. Maybe it's a symbol, like a pen or a feather. Maybe it's, I don't know, a character. Maybe it's something to do with a logo. The point is that the branding is supposed to represent you and what identity you want to convey to your customers or to the people that are supporting you, basically. So the branding is normally the creative bit of a company, and that's like the most exciting bit for me in terms of getting to create and pick colors and things like that. So when talking about branding, you have to think about logo, website, colors, designs, wording, font choice, presets for your camera. So I find all this stuff to be exciting, but if you're like me and you're an arty person and you don't want to limit yourself, there's so many choices out there, you don't know where to start from. Or if you're not an arty person, you're like, I have no idea how to start from this, I don't know where to go. Well, I'm gonna show you where to go. We're gonna go to Pinterest because what we're gonna do now is make a mood board. So I've just logged on to Pinterest to start looking at pictures and start grouping them together in terms of looking at what really resonates with me, my style, and what I want my business to convey. So what are the benefits of having a mood board? The mood board is going to address what tones align with you and your business and what personality you want your business to have. So it's really useful to have options like Pinterest where we can kind of put that all on one screen and then be able to work and get inspiration from that. So let's go. Right, and we went off. I had a lot of fun making this mood board, and I feel like it really represents the personality that I'm trying to convey with my brand, mostly myself, my own taste. I like very bright, vibrant colors, and I want that to come off as expression within my art. But I also want it to not be too over the top and almost seem childlike. So I think mixing it out with the really bright colors, but also adding in a bit of sophisticated font, so it does have weight to it, but it's not completely childlike, and I'm super happy with it. So when you're making your own mood board, if you keep in mind the values that we did in the first bit of the video, and then when you're creating the mood board, just look at pictures that really resonate with you, and really, convey what you want to convey, and put those together, and then there you go. You end up with something like this, which is I'm pretty happy with it. So we've created the mood board. Did I just rip my fence? Oh my god. I just ripped my jeans. Jeez. Oh my god. Okay. But in reality, things were not okay. And they will never be okay again. So now we've created the mood board, but what now? Continue to use your mood board for inspiration, or even continue referring back to it when you're doing things to do with your brand image. Use it anytime you're going to present something to a consumer or to a supporter. So now that I've created the mood board, I'm going to use it to actually change my YouTube banner. So normally at the top of the YouTube page you have your channel art, and here what I'm going to do is completely use this mood board for inspiration. Start fiddling around with some things in Canva and some art and design software, and then just change it to represent my brand and my identity. So this is the part where I show you that process of exactly how I use my mood board to then influence how I'm going to present my channel to the rest of the world. So I know what colors I want to use for my brand. I know what name I want to use, Loquat Layla. Now it's just time to get the imagery. So I've looked onto Flickr. Flickr is somewhere where you can get free images. Just go on and click commercial use and modifications allowed, and I've looked up Loquats to try to find something to use as my YouTube channel art. So soon I'm going to stumble upon something. Okay, there we go. So I got this picture, an image of a loquat. So from that lovely photo of a loquat that someone so kindly let me use, I made different versions of it, and I ended up settling on the most saturated version I made, which is really playful, really fun. I was really inspired by my mood board. And I take this into Canva. Most people have known about Canva. It's like graphic design, but easy graphic design. Anybody can use it. I've just typed in YouTube channel art to get started. Branding has to do with a lot more than just visual identity. You have logo, identity, design, advertising, strategy, and trust. Think of your brand as your reputation. What do you want people to know about you? What do you want people to associate you with? To create this, I use Canva. Now there are other places as well, like I've heard of Snappa. However, Snappa doesn't really provide that much in sorts of fonts, and then when I was trying to upload a font, it was like, oh, pay for premium, and I was like, do I look like I have money? No, because I don't. So I went onto Canva and I did the exact same thing here. It worked out really great and really fine. If you haven't used Canva before, I highly recommend it. It's, beginner's graphic design, basically. So a tip would be use specific fonts whenever you're creating something. So for instance, like a YouTube thumbnail, use the specific fonts that you associate with your brand every single time, because that's going to help differentiate you in the market, help your customers or your supporters, I guess. Why do I keep saying customers? It's going to help your supporters recognize you wherever you are. So if you're curious, the two fonts that I used in my YouTube banner were Aprilo Build and Montserrat. So my tip would be to only use 3 fonts to stick with and don't go anywhere outside of that range. I know it's really hard for creative people to just be confined to 3 fonts, but you can probably end up changing them as you develop and as your brand grows. You know, maybe substitute one for another that you like better, and so on and so forth. The point is to just make sure that your customers recognize you. So I don't recommend doing this that often. Okay, now we're on to the exciting bit. I'm just logging into YouTube to show you guys my changed channel art. I added some words in there, so what you're gonna see that it says is Loqua Layla, entrepreneurship, art, and personality, which is all my channel is about. Think of your brand as a person, as a real life human being, breathing. Because human characteristics can help form customer relationships. It's much easier to think of a brand as a human being than it is to think of it as a corporation with multiple little pieces and strategy and all these things working behind it and all this strategic stuff to manipulate you into trusting it. Let's not think about that. Apply a personality to your brand that represents you, if you're marketing yourself anyway. So like for me, I'm going for something that's fun. I'm going for something that's fun, something that's bold and interesting, something that I actually like in aspects of my personality and I guess even my personal style that I like and that I want to convey to other people. So it's about showing, if you're going to be marketing yourself, it's about showing the best parts of yourself and the parts of yourself that you like the most to other people. And if you're going to be creating something like a YouTube channel, my best advice would be to ask your friends what they like about you or what characteristics you have that they think are strong points, and then try to push those forwards, because that way you're still being yourself. You're just being the part of yourself that people like. And if you're a company or you're trying to promote a product, think about it in the same way. So like for instance, an example would be Goldfish, the snack that smiles back. Goldfish. That's actually giving a product a human-like characteristic. Does anything actually smile back to you except for maybe like human beings and monkeys? I'm trying to think of something else that smiles, but I can't think of anything else. What they've done is they've applied a human characteristic to that food. It just makes you like it more. I don't know. Thinking about your goldfish that you eat in a way that it has a personality. So you're eating its personality. Is that ethical? My last tip is to be authentic. Behave in a way that is consistent with your values. And this goes all the way back to us writing out our values and our purpose in the beginning of the video. You see how I did that? People like authenticity. No one likes to be lied to or used. Like, it's terrible. Don't do that to people. And it's not sustainable either. If you're going to be creating a YouTube channel, bring yourself to the YouTube channel. Obviously, you're gonna wanna bring your best bits with you, but don't lie in front of this camera, you know? And on that end, thank you for watching this video and thank you for going on this journey with me and helping me create my new channel art. I think that this was really, really helpful for me, actually, and a really, really fun thing to do. So definitely sit down and do those steps and really think about your brand and what you want to do. As well as the mood board was really, really fun. So definitely do that as well. I feel like the mood board is going to help me so much in terms of just branding. In fact, I probably used it as inspiration for the thumbnail I've made for this video. I don't really know yet because I haven't started it yet, but thank you so much for watching. My name is Loqua Layla. I'm pretty sure you knew that already. I make videos about entrepreneurship and art, as well as whatever I really want. So if you're interested in that, definitely consider subscribing. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching this video. I put a lot of work into it. A lot of different angles, trying a lot of different things here, but it's all been really fun and really worthwhile. And I hope that this video could bring you some type of value and be worthwhile for you as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you, hopefully, maybe, whatever, do what you want in the next one. Thank you. Bye!